check this part out though. It is so deep that the people that I was talking to, that when I found this out, it was like six of them, and they didn't even realize that's what was going on. So delusional. You don't even understand what's happening around you. You don't even understand you're a tool. Like, come on, bro.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me. Not for the time that I spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player. I was made to build a game.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant's always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack, and we're back in the lab once again at 4:46 a.m. on this beautiful Saturday morning. How are we doing, Mac? Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I'm good, man. Been making this transition. Jumped into this new job this week, man. So
okay.
Yeah, it's been a little while, but we'll get to that in a second because the topic that I want to bring to you is wrapped in entangled into that. But started that joint on Tuesday, and it's just been a little interesting, man. That's all. That's about as much as I'm gonna say about it at this moment.
Okay. Week's been pretty good. Just recently, our I guess our neighbor's dog that yaps all through the day and night. Anyway, I guess the dog had puppies, and they've been getting the puppies ready to sell. I guess they're breeders or something. So this one random morning, me and Court, I'm getting ready for work. Court taking Jace to school or whatever. Usually, sometimes we'll end up leaving at the same time.
Yeah.
On this very particular day, the neighbor just happens to just come out the house with all the puppies, and she's just flaunting the puppies. Friends like, hey, do y'all want a dog or whatever? We got one left, doing all this salesman like tactics to get us to buy this dog, and I'm like, we ain't never ran into each other like this before. What is happening here? I felt like this was just a ploy to get us to buy this dog for a ridiculous amount or something like that, trying to say that this the last one we got in stock and all this other stuff. I'm like, yeah, right, okay.
This dog is a purebred show pony.
Basically. But no, the puppies was cute. They was all running around yapping and whatnot. I'm like, oh.
Did you buy the dog though?
Nah, I told her we'll think about it and get back with her.
See,
can't go nowhere. They right next though. We really can't.
That's the worst thing you can tell somebody who trying to sell you something. Believe me.
I'm like, did you think about it yet? Every time they see you, they waiting, smiling, just in your face.
That's how you get a knock on your door at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh no, because Court ain't a morning person.
Wednesday.
Oh man.
Hey, I was just coming over to follow up and see if you still wanted that dog. I know you said you would think about it. Have you thought about it yet? Make another excuse if you want. Salesman handle objections. Salesman handle rejection real well.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But go ahead.
I was gonna say that's interesting, right? Because it's like those people that be like right in the middle of the walkway in like the malls or whatever. It's like they got you as soon as you make eye contact with them. I'm talking about they own you.
Oh yeah, that don't bother me.
As soon as you make eye contact. And it's like they know the ones who they can pick up on, and they know the ones they don't. They can't.
I told one dude one time, I was like, look, you can walk with us, but I still ain't buying.
It's like, if you that bored, you can walk.
Then we went to remember we went to the outlets at Williamsburg that one time when all of us went on that group trip.
Yeah.
And that one dude was standing out there trying to I think he was selling timeshares or something. And he made the mistake of talking to us twice.
Come on.
And I mean, it wasn't even 20 minutes in between the time that he talked to us the first time and the time that he tried to pitch us the second time. I was like, bro, you don't remember we just talked? Like, how long you been out here, man? Like,
too long. That
you need some coffee, man. You tripping? I was like, bro, that wasn't even 20 minutes ago. What are you talking about, dog? We just had this conversation.
Mans was on a mission.
And the worst part about it, he remembered my name after I said that. I was like, yo, what is happening?
He said, I'm gonna sell it to somebody twice. He's like, I'm gonna get somebody. Oh man. Yeah. The drive that some of them people got is just insane.
Yeah, man. What so yeah, man. I just started this new gig, man. And you know, it's a cool job. Like, I ain't about to sit up here and talk about it like it's not, but it's one of those things where it's like, yo, the job cool and all, I just don't know if I'm cool for it. If that makes sense.
I feel
like it could be cool for somebody who want to do it. But like, I was sitting at work yesterday, and you know, man, I've been off for 6, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, I think it was, bruh. And I've been at home with my girl and my baby for all that time. All the work that I was able to get done, I did it on my own. Ain't had to ask nobody about it. Didn't have to report to nobody about it. And then all of a sudden, all that come to a dead stop. And now I gotta get pictures of my baby. And bruh, like I was gonna talk about this beforehand, because I felt like this by my first day was Tuesday. I felt like this by Wednesday, bruh. But yesterday, Alyssa sent me a picture of Amara, and I just looked at that joint, bruh, and I just got emotional, dog, because I'm like, bruh, for some reason, yo, baby girl looked different. And I was like, yo, I can't explain it, but like, she looked older to me. Like, in this picture, bro, something ain't clicking to me. Like, yo, for real, like it feel like I'm disconnected in a way, and I don't like it. Like, it literally made me emotional, bro. Like, I was like, yo, some got to change. Some got to change, bro. But needless to say, at the moment, I still need a job. I still need a job, bro. Like, for real, just as being honest with you, like, I ain't made it to that point yet. The next book is just about to drop. The first book ain't selling. I mean, I need a job. Like, it is what it is. So the thing that I wanted to talk about today is the fact Mark just said, yo, I feel that. And the problem is, Mark, and most people do.
Yeah.
Most people do. And here's where it get tricky, right? Because most people do feel that way, but you letting the emotion dictate which way you go after having that feeling. So you out here making all of us look bad because you're making emotional decisions. See, I've noticed that through my life. You know, you come across a lot of people who feel exactly like that. Yo, this job sucks. I don't want to do this. It's painful. Like whatever you may feel about your job, like and you take that and you run with it, and you just like, you know what? I ain't doing it no more. I ain't doing it no more. I'm done. And you like, yo, I don't care about like consequences. Be damned. You just like, yo, I'm done. I can't do this. I'm not gonna do this. And then you just be stuck without a job. So what I'm here to talk about today, Mark, is the fact that people are making decisions on their life based on their emotions, and they're not sticking through the things that they need to do because of it. Because as grown men, right now, I think both of us are in the same boats about our job, but what the hell are we gonna do? We're gonna quit and find another one? What good is that gonna do?
Yep. Be right back in the same boat.
Yeah, you be right back at square zero. Before go.
it, yeah. Yeah. It's interesting you bring that up of all things, because like I've been talking to like friends and all this other stuff. I'm like, yo, it's this never ending cycle, and I'm like, yo, I'm tired, bro. Like I get home, and then I somewhat got a laundry list. I still got stuff to do that I have to do,
bro.
that I want to do.
Yeah, bro.
At the end of the day, and I'm just like,
End
something
of the day,
gotta give.
beginning of the day.
It's like it seems like there's not enough time, and then when we do get time on a day like this, on a Saturday, we still got stuff that we gotta fix up, gotta go get, gotta plan out, and I'm like, yo, this job thing is for the birds. It's for somebody, but it ain't for me. So if you out there, if you listening, if you want that for yourself, you gotta get it. Like if you're not willing to go get it, don't be an entrepreneur. Cause like I got days where I'm like, I'm sitting at the job and I'm like, yo, I can go home right now. I got some consequences to deal with, but I need to go home right now.
Can you answer me this? Maybe it's just me, because I know I'm nowhere near risk averse. But to me, like it almost seemed like the consequences of not having a job is better than being at a job.
Yeah.
Like it almost feels like, yo, I don't want this for myself. So whatever comes with the financial burden, the house being up for repossession, the cars being repossessed, for some reason, all that seemed better than having a job.
It'd be like that. And it's like, yo, I don't know what insanity, what like keeps people in that. Because like you said, people feel that. But like,
yeah, man,
they don't do nothing to change it. They still stick with the job. They'll come to the conclusion of, I need to work even harder at this job to get out of it, to make myself comfortable or something. But at the end of the day, like I said, like you still want to do things. You still want to go out on the weekends. You still want to hang out with friends. You want a connection to life. But truly, you can't have that with a job. People give almost their entire lives to a job. Like if the job said, "Hey, y'all got to do mandatory," You there on the weekends, or you're there on your days off. If the job said, we need you to stay extra, you're doing that. No questions asked. You might complain, but you ain't about to complain to like your boss or anything like that, or somebody with, significant in a significant position or whatever like that. And I'm like, what is this? It don't feel like living. It don't feel natural. I'm just like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing there right there. You just said it don't feel like living. It don't. It really don't.
it's like I'm giving you 10 hours a day, 10 hours plus for some jobs, some 8, but still that's a good chunk of the day gone. Like some people jobs, they don't even see daylight, like talking about. And if they do, they eyes closed, so they truly ain't really seeing daylight. And I'm just like, that messes with you mentally, that messes with you physically. There's so many health issues and scientific stuff that backs that this isn't natural. This isn't a natural way of life, but we still do it day in, day out. And I'm like, we do it faithfully.
Yeah, faithfully for years, on top of years. And then after doing it for years, some people get to a point where they do it for years and realize that they have more years to give and go back to doing it for somebody else. You got people retiring out of the military, and I don't know how this works, but you retiring out of the military, you go in for 20 plus years. Like I know some people do 25, they get out, they like 40 something, and they go back into another job, and then they work that job from 45 on up to like 60 something. And I'm like, how in the hell does that work, bro? And you end up with people like Mr. Bonnie.
Bruh. Did you know that was the goal?
That man was 87. 87, bro, working for Amazon, retired master sergeant.
That was the goal, bruh. That was the plan. That was the life's plan. That was mine. That's what I had set up. I was like, military. Don't even gotta put a whole lot of years in there. Do the minimum, or like 20, 25 or something. Get out at the age of 40.
The
Settle
minimum is
down.
4, bro.
Minimum is 4. You can't retire after 4 though, right?
Fuck no.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about like for retirement.
You talking about minimum retirement requirements? All right, man. You better get those words right. Cause I was trying to get out there at 4, and they kept me in for 8.
Come on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but goal was going to the military, retire after 20 years or whatever, 25, be in my 40s, get out, I guess, do some type of job, work up that corporate ladder because I got the military experience. So I should be able to get some type of job that'll transfer over to civilian life or something, and then work that till I retire. And I was like, luckily I was not healthy enough, but I was too fat at the time to make it in, so never went in. Take that how you want it. I count it as a blessing because I'm not in, and I'm doing this podcast and working towards things that I love to do. So right. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be able to do that in the military.
You wouldn't have the time. When the hell would you have the time? I ain't never seen a podcast made by some Army personnel. In fact, the only podcast I ever seen made by Army personnel was the we came across these folks in I can't remember what convention we were at. I can't remember which joint. I think it might have been Raleigh. When we went to Raleigh, they were Army, and they had this gaming podcast, this gaming channel and podcast where they just talked about Army combat games. That's all they did was play Army combat games, first person shooter, CS:GO. They did sprinkle a little Fortnite in there, Call of Duty, Warzone, stuff like that. Like, but for some reason, and I don't know how this worked, but the Army had them doing that as their job.
Trying to
Like
recruit
the Army got a gaming team, bro. Like an e-gaming team, and I'm like,
come on,
what the fuck is this? And I know what they're trying to do, but you know, it's marketing. Let's call it what it is. It's marketing. So you can pull in a new crowd and make the new crowd look at your organization and your platform like it's worth joining. But you know, it's beyond the point. Like they have a whole bunch of kids with all these false advertisements, thinking they about to serve their country and play video games, and then you send them to a war zone, bro. It's terrible. Terrible way to do business, but you know.
Jesus, that is.
Oh, check this part out though. It is so deep that the people that I was talking to, that when I found this out, like it was like 6 of them. Now, and they didn't even realize that's what was going on. Like, you know, so delusional. You don't even understand what's happening around you. You don't even understand you're a tool. Like, come on, bruh. Yikes. But needless to say, man.
That's baffling.
Needless to say, there is a grain in this that needs to be addressed, right? We need to address the elephant. So in these moments here that we're talking about, you either do what you need to do to get out of it, or you shut up to do what you got to do to survive. Now, unfortunately, at the moment, I'm walking a line between both sides, which is rare. It's very rare. Like you don't see people normally playing this teeter-totter with life and expectations of lifestyle. Now, the thing is, like, I got an expectation of lifestyle. I got an expectation of what I want to see in my day-to-day life. And I haven't made it there yet. And for that being the case is the reason why I'm working a job down. So what I want people to understand right now is that, you know, because some of y'all are just out here quitting jobs just because you don't like the job. And you just bouncing around from job to job trying to find this perfect job. What the fuck is that? But, you know, I don't know what that is. I ain't never seen that. I don't know. I don't think it exists. I promise you, if you're not the boss or you don't own the company, there's no such thing as a perfect job. Like, you can't say that it is a perfect job. Like, because even my boss complained. Like, dude run the whole building. He complaining about stuff. Like he ain't got no power. So, like, for real, you gotta. If you're doing it, you gotta do it with the purpose. Now, I saw that picture of my baby girl yesterday or the other day, whatever day that was. And I'm pretty sure it was yesterday. Yeah, I saw a picture of my baby girl, and I was like, bruh. I was hurt. Like, real talk. Like, I was hurt. Like, that's not even a joke. I was hurt, bro. Like, I was at my desk. About to tear up, bro. And the first thing that my brain went to was go home to my girl, bro. Like, go home to my girls, bro. Like, just drop this. Just take a L. Just go home to your girls. But there is a mission that I'm on. And I promise you, some of you are going to find that you're going to have to be on the same mission to take care of your family, bro. This is what Yada was talking about, Mark. This is what he was talking about, bro. And as a man, you can't be in your feelings about that. Like, so either you do what you do what you gotta do what you need to do to survive, or you do what you gotta do, whatever I said earlier, bro. Like, for real. This is what my man was talking about. Like, there's no mistaking this. We are at peak manhood right now, ma.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, you either gonna thrive or you're gonna settle for survive. And this isn't taught in schools. This isn't, you don't really, well, people in our environment aren't really prepared for moments like these. It kind of just, they go through life, they go through the school system and whatever, and then boom, they just, I mean, there's actions taken beforehand, but they kind of just end up in this situation, and then they're just like, okay, what do I do now? So they're in this situation, and then they gotta figure everything out on their own. They gotta handle not only their problems, but the problems or the concerns of the situation around them. And then they also have to build a home, be a provider, and all this other stuff, and XYZ. And it's like, after I just said all of that, you notice I didn't say they got to take a break. I didn't say that they need to, take care of themselves and all this other stuff. They gotta provide. They gotta work. They gotta execute. And that gets overwhelming. Like, there's things that just pop up in everyday life through that situation, through Mac's situation, through my situation, and it's just like, hey, I gotta ask this job to get that time off to handle those things, and I'm just like, no, this is my life. I shouldn't be asking when I can do things. I should just be doing the things, right?
That's absolutely right, man.
It baffles me, and it's like, it's set up in such a way that people don't even notice it. Like you said, people just they get into that, and they look towards that job to solve their needs. They look for that perfect job, which doesn't exist. Like, you're gonna have a job that uses you. You are the tool. If you're not a boss, and even the boss is a tool. They just do a little bit less physically, but they still are drained at the end of the day. They still have to ask someone above them for that permission to get that day off, or for that permission to handle those things in life. And people still go to these things. People still are preaching to their kids, to everyone else, that this is the solution, this is the way, and we can clearly see it's not.
Clearly, without a doubt, nobody can mistake the fact that this is not the way.
Nobody on their job has became a millionaire or has been successful from working a job. You know what makes millionaires? You know how people become successful? Not from a job. Plain and simple. It's not from a job, though. It's like, we see people make $1 million in like months, weeks, a day even. Myron Goldman has it goes up like every year, but it's like a $1 million. It started out as like a $1 million challenge. Make $1 million in like a week, or like a weekend or something like that. And then it's grown now. I forget the number now, but it's just like, he is teaching people how to make $1 million, a large amount of money, what we perceive as a large amount, in a weekend. And we're trying to save that amount in like years. We don't see that amount until like we get our W-2s and we see how much we made. We don't even see that on our W-2. You got to get a couple of W-2s, add those up.
To see what, $1 million?
See $1 million for some people.
I'm about to say, because my W-2s ain't seen $1 million yet. You add it up, I ain't seen $1 million yet.
That's what I'm talking about. You got to get a couple of W-2s, add them up. You still haven't touched that money. You just made that money over time or given that money to Texas or something like that.
That's not a thing, by the way, but, I thought we were just talking about looking at the gross total income and just adding them up every year.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, okay. You said hold them and
No, you can't.
Let's not do that.
You can't do that.
It's not a thing.
You gotta pay your taxes, so they say.
Yeah, you gotta file them. We don't pay taxes as people in blue collar because we don't make enough money to pay taxes. So we
speak for yourself.
Well, majority of us, we don't make enough money to pay taxes. You had to actually reach a certain threshold to pay taxes.
Yeah, for some reason I keep doing that. I need to stop. I don't know how.
You were paying taxes even when you were at Amazon?
What you mean? Yeah, like I owe.
Every time?
I have been since I started working at Amazon.
You say you have been.
Yep.
I think you need to ditch your tax person. You the same person do your taxes every year?
We started doing now. I filed sometime this week and I got back a little bit and then I had to owe a couple hundred.
You had to pay state?
I don't know if it was state or federal. I think it was. I got a picture of it.
All right. Sorry for the tangent, folks. But but yeah, man, it's hard.
It is,
especially for us men, right? And single mothers are probably in the same boat. I can imagine your boat is worse because, like, just seeing Alyssa with our daughter is, there's something spiritual happening right there, right? And I'm just like, I don't want that to be interrupted. I want my baby girl to get a fighting chance, and the best way that she's going to get it is if she experiences what her mother is capable of giving her. And Alyssa is like all for it. She's like, she had to put her down for the first time and actually do some stuff around the house. And she was like, this doesn't feel right. I need to go pick my baby back up. Like, So I'm like, yo, how dare I even be at the precipice of saying that I'm going to send that woman back to work and she wants to be around our child? Like, how dare I even think about that? Like, that's not even, why would that even be an option? And like, I'm surprised, like, even after this first week, I'm surprised that she still wants to do that, if I'm being honest. Like, I thought she was going to be like, all right, I changed my mind. I can't do this. Like, but she's still sticking in there, man. She's like been going on walks and stuff and around the neighborhood and going to the store, going to her appointments and stuff, man. Everything is normal for her. And, as a man, it's like, yo, I'm missing out on life life the way it comes because I'm here at this job. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is that you're going to feel this. It's inevitable. You're going to feel this. There is no way around this. You are going to feel this hurt of missing out on actual life because you're pretending to live inside the job on the clock. Like, it is inevitable for that to happen. Like, there's no way possible to avoid that. The only way to avoid that is to get your work done and to be a success without the job. Or you can be a success on your job and start working from home. Like some people are doing that too. Like that is an option as well. But even what they say, you working from home, you still gotta report to somebody for a certain amount of hours, even to the point where somebody even made a mouse jiggler.
Yeah.
It's real out here. Folks
Yeah.
was out here trying to get these work from home jobs because they like, I want to stay at home with my family. And then you got up here buying a mouse jiggler from Amazon and you ain't getting no work done.
Yeah.
So you got the mouse jiggling so you can go live, but now you at the brink of getting fired because that report that was supposed to be due on Monday, they wondering that why you was at your computer for 24 hours and that joint ain't got done. So look, man, you're going to feel it, and when you feel it, it's gonna hurt. And the reason I know this, right, because I know some people who, and you can see it when it happened. You ask them to do something, or they get to doing a certain task, and then they just kind of get this glazed look, like that look of how you explain the look, Mark. I know you've seen it before, but it looked like they just kind of stop doing what they're doing, or they slow down a little bit, and then they start looking around, and it's like that look like
self-aware.
They start getting real serious. They start looking around a little bit more. Their chest perk out, their shoulders kick back a little bit. And then like you can go ask them something, and then it's like they act like they don't even hear you. Like we all seen it. We all been through it, bro. You get to that point and you just like, you know what, man? Do I really need this shit? Do I really? And then it's up to you at that point to determine whether or not you're going to keep going with that. But when you do, you have to remember your goals, man. You had to remember what you're fighting for. That's the only thing that I wanted to bring this down to, is that you got to remember what you're fighting for. When Alyssa sent me that picture, I was like, this might be the picture that I'm going to put on my desk. This might be the one. It's like, for real, I need something to remind me why I'm fighting for just fighting in general. I got to remind me of what my home life should be.
Yeah. It's almost like you in a world like this, in an environment like the blue collar 9 to 5, you gotta stand for something, or you're gonna get swept away in stuff that's not even your problem. Like,
Yeah.
I've had that moment many a times, working at Amazon or just working at a job in general. Like, somehow you've taken upon yourself, or the job has put in your mind that all this stuff is important. We gotta work, and then you stop and you're just like, yo, why am I working so hard?
Why? What
This
am I
ain't
doing this for?
important to me. This ain't even important to the customers that we're working so hard to do this for. Like, what? How did we get here? How did I get so worked up from somebody else's words about somebody else's problems that has been fabricated? And I'm sitting here going the extra mile to accomplish what? Nothing that's going to benefit me. So it's just like, and I do understand that there has to be people that work these jobs to keep the economy going and all this other stuff. I mean, there are going to be people that work a job. If you're those people, you probably don't need to be listening to this podcast, because you're going to work the job regardless. You're going to retire regardless and then go back to work again. But for those ones that are tired of that can't sleep at night, can't get a good night's rest because you're thinking about all the things that you could be doing to better your lifestyle. For the people that are at the 9 to 5, but can't focus on the 9 to 5 because they're thinking of all these ways that they can be successful, start their dreams, and just live a life that yearn for that.
Yeah.
Those are the people that we want to talk to right now, because that once you have that feeling and once you start that process, like it's no going back. There's no way me or Matt could just sit here and be like, yo, bro, like we've been doing this for a while. I don't think it's for me. Like I just gotta go back to the job and just work. Like I don't think any of this stuff we got going on, it's no way we could do that. Not after we've seen the things we've seen. We've started the things, Mac with the book, me with the gaming company, and it's just like once you get that ball rolling, it only gets better from there. Each and every moment, each and every day, we get closer and closer to that one breakthrough. And you'll never get there if you work a job, if you work a 9 to 5, if you just give your entire mind, body, and soul to corporate America. It
Right.
doesn't work that way. You don't get successful for doing that.
It is right there, man. I'm getting to a point, Mark, where in my life I'm getting so tired of feeling like that, and I think that's what that's what people has been telling us for years, right? The Myron Goldens of the world, the Les Browns of the world, the ETs of the world. They always say you got to get tired. You got to get tired of living the way that you've been living. Like it doesn't just come just by osmosis. You got to get tired of it. And I do believe that now has been the time that I've started to feel like that the most.
Yeah. Cause I don't know if it's old age or I don't know.
I don't think it is because we work with people who are old, who did with. I don't think it was old age. And age ain't had nothing to do with it.
I feel that.
I think it was just it's the life experiences is what I think it is.
Cause like it hasn't been that long since I stopped working at Amazon and working at this job. It's not even that labor intensive. I was sitting there and I'm like, all of a sudden I got tired. And I was like, I don't feel like doing this, but I'm like, I ain't done much. I'm like, it's only 10 o'clock. I only been on the job for like 30 hours. I'm like, but I'm tired of this. Like I don't want to do. It's like when you don't want to do something, it's like you working out in this gravity chamber, and the gravity is turned up to like 100, and like you forcing yourself to move, and I'm like, I gotta do something different. I was sitting there, I was texting friends. I was like, yo, we gotta do something tonight. We gotta make moves tonight to figure out how to just get out of this. I'm tired of this feeling. Tired of waking up. Like I'm tired of hearing people complain about this. I'm tired. I want something different, and I'm like, we gotta figure out whatever we need to figure out to do that. Like it's no games at this point. Like at this point, there's no reason why we can't be successful with the things we know. At the peak of what we have going on, there's no reason that we can't make something happen. Like, goddamn.
5:30 alarm, crazy. At least I beat that up though. I beat up one alarm. At 6 o'clock, we're probably gonna hear another one going off on my end.
And that's another thing, waking up. That's the alarm to get up to go to work, right? and that alarm goes off, and usually I can beat the alarms up. At one point, I was getting up 4 o'clock, ready for the 9 to 5, and I'm like, now I can't do that. I don't want to do that. I'm tired. I've been doing that since like high school, and I'm like, it wasn't natural then. It's not natural now. I mean, like if you're one of those people that get up and you have your morning routine where you get up at 4 o'clock and you just go, cool. But like that's not forever. I ain't gonna sit here and
Right.
say that. It's you gotta figure out what works best for you and just like do that. Like everybody has this built in routine for themselves, this natural routine that works for them. And you're not gonna get that in 9 to 5. 9 to 5 is gonna say, hey, we need you here this at XYZ time. We need you to work XYZ this many hours. You gotta make this much production value. You have to bring value to this job while
Right.
you depreciate over time. And that's it. You don't grow from that. You don't get extra money for that. You don't
You
get
know what I'm
paid
saying?
the value that you are worth.
Yeah.
But
They just be
if
like Marcus did something, and we were able to capitalize on it, and it was uh it made the company a lot of money. And thank you, Marcus. You know, everybody give a round of applause to Marcus. And that's it. Company made a lot of money off of it, but just give Marcus a thank you.
Mac joking, but like that's all seriousness. Like there are some jobs where that's what they do.
Bro, it
That
happened to people all the time, bro. I remember having that conversation with Bree because she was on this thing going heavy, trying to get us to be the best shift in the building, and she was right. It used to piss me off because like she was doing so much. She had us doing so much, but and you seen it. You were there, being experiencing the madness that we were going through, and like everybody else in the whole joint was just like not doing their due diligence. Won't nobody really trying to work that hard because like we all know what we were accustomed to. Because obviously I can't do a whole bunch of work if the next person ain't doing a whole bunch of work. So what the hell am I doing? Like I'm just about to sit my ass down and chill out. And she won't having that. And she got me doing all of this other crazy shit. Got us the best shift, and she was like, "All right, yeah, we finally beat XYZ. We the best shift now." And I'm like, "Now what?" She was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "We ain't getting nothing for this. Now what? Like, what did we do all this for?" And she was like, "We did it because I don't like being last." And I'm like, "Okay, that's
hold
cool.
on, hold on.
That's cool and all. But check this out. You about to get your boss a promotion and you about to be left with nothing."
Not
And she was
even
like, "That's
that.
not gonna happen. I'd be down if we didn't witness my man Chase get a promotion right after that." And that man came, had a nerve to thank us, Mark. He thanked us for doing everything that we did and said that he wouldn't have been able to to
Move
get that
ahead.
promotion without us.
Salt on the wound. Oh my god,
Yeah,
that's wild. But like, all right,
that
so
man.
that job. First of all, you don't like being last, but like your department is last. Like literally, that's the last step of the
Physically, yeah.
job.
Physically, your department is last.
I'm like, there's so many things there. I mean, that is a prime example of that's not your issue. That's not your problem. None of those things would have, even if they wouldn't have gotten done, it wouldn't have affected her physically at all. Like that, worst they could do is come to you, be like, hey, you guys need to pick it up. But like, with that job in general, it's a system in place. Like, if you want anything to change, you're gonna have to start at the bottom, literally the bottom of the process and work your way up. People don't like to look at that, but that is prime example, people. And like I know that everyone that's worked a 9 to 5 has seen something like that. Like that's basically the structure of a 9 to 5. Like multiple people are benefiting off of the grunt workers, the lower level workers. That's all they do. People at the higher ups, they crack the whip, they say a speech. All right, everybody below them is working harder now. Everybody below them is putting in extra time, working double time, working at 2x speed, and the people higher ups are just, they ain't out there with you. 9
Not
times
at
out of
all.
10, they're going to be out there with you. So it's like, you see that, you go through that, you feel a certain way. Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone does. Everybody will. It's not fair. But what are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna go home and prep for the next day, or you can go home, put in extra time, extra hours into your craft to get out of that? And I feel like we're so pissed off and so motivated now that it's easier. We're seeing a lot more people do it. We're seeing how easy it could be. We're seeing it doesn't take nothing to just write a book or to make a video games. There's so much free stuff out there. There's so much stuff that you could just stay at home and do to make money and live your life. We're seeing people take trips to exotic places. Like, there's a place on earth where the water is clear or the water is pink or like a different color and it just looks so beautiful, immaculate. People see that on a daily, and you never see that a day in your life unless you look it up. Like, people
My first time seeing it, my feet was right at the water.
right
My
at the
first
water.
time seeing it, like I was I keep the picture on the backdrop of my phone to remind me every time I get on the joint to fight. This is what you fighting for, like your feet at the water.
Oh, that's beautiful.
At the blue water, like every time you open your phone up, you need to be reminded that your feet. Hey, you need to get back to that spot.
That's crazy, because like that looked like a stock photo. Like, I thought that was like a shoe brand photo or something like that. I was like, man, you trying to get us buy some shoes?
Walmart shoes.
Walmart coming up with them stock photo. Nah. But it's crazy how like we just settle. And I can't no more. Like, I don't know what it is. I've seen the light. I've seen I've become self-aware. I I want to break free of this cycle, this cog that is just planning on working a 9 to 5 until I die. Like, I've seen that that's not the way anymore. That it's never been the way. It's never been the way to have a successful, uh, healthy life.
Yeah.
Like, not even just being successful, but like being healthy to do things. Like, some of these old heads, all they had, literally the only thing that's keeping them going is the job. Like, the only thing that's keeping people able to live is a job, because like after they stop working, like they get lazy. Well, not even get lazy, but they're not doing as much for their body to burn off the things they need. It's literally their body has become accustomed to this routine, and once they stop it, their body's like, oh, all right, we can take a break, shut everything down, and they don't get back up after that. Don't turn back on.
You talking about the retired people?
Yeah. Like some of them, they'll tell you, they're like, yo, I ain't feel like being at home, because you don't know nothing more else. You've been working for like 80 years, 70 plus, 60 plus, and someone tells you, all right, you can stop now.
You got to give you permission to stop.
You're right. Like, hey, all right, you can go ahead, go home. You got it. You made it. You won. Now you're sitting at home like, all right, kids all out the house. They got lives of them. They're living. You know, they can't come see you. You can't come see them because they're working. They're doing the exact same thing you were doing. Where you gonna go? Your wife may or may not be there, depending on that situation. What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? That's the best question to ask right there. What are you gonna do?
And if you didn't have it together, you definitely don't have it together now. You gonna buy a boat, get a lakeview property, and just drive your boat all day? Like, what type of meaningful life will you have when you retire, or at the point of retirement? Like, what can you look back on and say, hey, I've accomplished this? All you can say is, yo, I worked this job for X amount of years and I retired. They gave me this small plaque saying I did it, or saying congratulations on retirement. The job threw me a party. They gave me a cake. It was store-bought cake. They bought it for Food Line for about $20.
They spent $20. That's
For the millions of dollars you just made that up.
I mean, $20 is quite a bit to spend on the person. That's kind of cool, actually. You know.
But like, we say all this, right? And if it don't piss you off, then you made for 9 to 5. But if it's pissing you off, even in the slightest, if it's
that's a good point. If it don't piss you off, you are made for this. This is your world. And you know, there is somebody probably listening to it be like, oh, but that's just normal.
Right. Like if you've gotten excited from anything we've said on this episode today, please turn it off. Just turn this episode off.
Yeah, just don't even unfollow.
But like Max said, you gotta get tired, because if you're not tired of it, you're going to basically relapse and get back in the 9 to 5. Like, you have to be to the point where you don't want to look, touch, think about a job, a 9 to 5. The only job should be you making the mistake and saying, oh, you know, what I'm doing is a job. No, this is your path to success. This is your journey, your career. This is your dream that you're working towards. It's not a job, it's your dream, and it can only be made into reality when you fully dive into it. Bump everything, bump a job, bump all distractions, obstacles, like you run right through them and make it happen. Like, it's not gonna happen until you make it happen. And the only way to get to that point is to be dead tired, where you don't accept nothing but success. Even your failures will be your success, because you you've done something to put out there, even though it didn't make as much money as you wanted to, even if you just pivot and you just keep moving.
Man, man, oh man. But I'm I've gotten to a point, bro, and you're absolutely right with all of that. But I've gotten to a point where I'm just like, yo, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Like this has been going on for too long. We've been working too hard, brother. Don't you feel like you have been working the hardest you've ever been working in your entire life?
Yeah.
And like, it just seems like we not we not getting enough done at any point. At any point in time, it always feels like we're not getting enough done. And no
Never.
matter how much we do, we don't move forward.
I wouldn't say don't move forward. I'd say we don't make big strides forward.
Yeah, you're right. Because I failed to see the small wins. You're right. You're right.
But like even with that though, I, like we've been saying, you know, we're prime examples of being in that middle spot, right? We've started, we're breaking away from the 9 to 5, but also, you know, starting our careers, and we haven't made it to success yet. And we keep seeing, you know, like you said, the Myron Goldmans, the Les Browns,
Mm-hmm.
where they've already made it to success, and we're hearing their backstory.
Yeah.
We weren't there with them, so we haven't seen how long, you know, Les Brown truly worked
Oh
at
yeah.
that
Yeah.
radio station,
Absolutely.
or
That
you
3 feet
know,
from growth thing.
yeah. And it's like, you know, that disconnect. We need more, and I mean it's out there. A lot of people have started recording their journeys. You can go on YouTube and see the first episode of someone's dev log, or of someone's uh uh videography. What do you call, like, a documentary? I guess you would say people's
Yeah.
personal documentaries
A
of, you know,
biopic.
what is that?
A documentary about somebody. So,
Oh, okay.
but
uh of them starting their journey, and you know where they are now. It's all a process. However long that process takes, is you can dictate it. You can uh do things to make that process a little bit faster, make that process a little bit slower. It's all up to you. It's all depending on, like, you know, what you're ready for, and what you can handle. Uh, I've seen people yeah, become successful over posting, you know, every day, every week, every, like, once a month. You know, it's possible. Just got to figure out what works for you.
yeah. Well, all right, man. What we got coming up, Mark?
Um, so I this week I am going to start um on putting the game out there. Um, I I've been listening to a lot of Thomas Brush. He's a indie developer out of South Carolina. And a lot of his videos, you know, he says, like, you just got to make it through that first hump. You know, make a crappy game. You're not gonna make a your first game isn't gonna be your success. It's not gonna be uh your big AAA title or nothing like that. You got to start the process. You got to see how the ins and outs of making a game, publishing a game, putting it out there and, you know, getting feedback, you know, see what your skills are, see where you're strong at. Is it, you know, environments? Is it texturing? Is it, you know, XYZ? So that's what I'm gonna be working on. Getting the game out there, just, you know, putting things together and just throwing something together, put it out there. So look forward to that. I'll keep y'all updated with that. And we're gonna go from there. What about yourself, sir?
Um, so right now I have the book is finished, and then we're trying to come up with a reasonable release date based on how much excuse me, based on how much editing needs to be done, what needs to take place during the edit, and all those things like that. But before that takes place, I have actually next week, I believe. Yeah, on the 13th, I'll be participating in an interview with with um with the podcast called P English Literature, which is a huge podcast that focuses on self-published authors and interviews them to talk about their books and their goals as writers. And it's been going on for a few years. Guy has a lot of subscribers uh, online and all that stuff, man. You know, huge platform, man. And I'm not sure how I was able to land this interview, but I'll be on that next week. I'm not sure when the episode is going to come out though, but yeah, man. Got the interview set up for next week. My man is out in he's out in Africa, and I learned how to do you know, when you're doing international business, man, telling time and you know, trying to tell people where you at and link up with them is a little bit tricky, man. I didn't know that there was a such thing as GMT. Like I didn't know that was a thing. Like, you know, my man said he was like, I'm in GMT +1, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what
Different
you trying to tell me, man? And I pulled it up and I looked at it. I was like, yo, that's been there the whole time. I didn't even notice it. It's been there the whole time. I didn't even notice it. I was like, all right, cool. Yeah. I'm in GMT -5. I mean, you know, I'm 7 hours behind you. So, you know, let's go ahead and work that out. I didn't even know that was a thing, bro. I was like, all right, cool.
It's different time zone. You never had to tell somebody your
I ain't
time
never
zone
called
in
it
the
no
military?
damn GMT, the fucking GMT, Universal Time Code. I ain't never heard of that, bro. We don't use that. I'm in the East Coast, bro. I'm in the East
We're
Coast.
EST, Eastern Standard
I'm
Time.
in EST. God damn it. I never did it. I never had to you know, never linked up with anybody over in Africa before, you know. I never, you know,
But
I
I
never
thought they
had to do
would,
that.
you know, you would have to tell somebody that, you know, depending on where you were stationed or whatever in the
Yeah, people
military.
ask me that when I'm in the States. Yeah, what time code are you in? If I told them EST, they will understand what the hell I'm talking about. But if I told that man EST, he would be like, what?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's for the state. Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Uh I recently seen that on something. I don't know if I was putting in an application for something or something was like that. It was like what time zone are you in? And it wasn't the regular junks, it was GMT. So I guess the job was like for internet. I don't know. Anyway. Alrighty, people. This has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast. Were you done?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It's me, your boy Marks Morton. Always say with me is the Aaron Mack. And before we go, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all and we just want y'all to be better than y'all were yesterday. And always remember, those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.